Um, you know, Kamala, I know you didn't win, but you won the key to my heart because one thing you were right about was the round brush. Because, baby, oh, y'all see the layers? Y'all see how my layers are just sitting so pretty? You see the hair? Like, do you do I mean, like, it's just so pretty. Yeah. But let's get right into the video before I continue to talk about how beautiful my hair is because God knows we will be here all day. Let's get right into the video. Okay. Welcome to the Shakira Miriam Show. I'm your host, Shakira Miriam. And today we are going to be talking about Hollywood and their recent choice of casting for the movie Children of the Blood and the Bone. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Children of the Blood and the Bone is originally a book, and now they're making it into a movie. And this tells a story about a few teenagers who are facing the everyday life struggles of what if it was like to be in Nigeria during the Civil War. So even though it is a fantasy novel, it is very relatable to the historical event and the people who were living during that time. And I'm sure a lot of people who were around during the Nigerian Civil War have similar stories compared to what's presented in this book. Now, with that being said, ever since they have released the casting for this movie, there has been a lot of conversation on the internet. And unfortunately, it is not the conversation that we thought we would be having, because we thought we would be celebrating the fact that Hollywood is actually shedding light on an issue that was taking place in Nigeria. We thought we would be excited because this would open up the opportunity for more monoracial Black people to have roles in movies. And this would also open the opportunity for a lot of Nigerian actors to enter the Hollywood scene. But Hollywood pulled a Hollywood again, as they always do. Because when they set up the casting, they basically picked all the wrong people. Okay, so we're just going to get into it because it's absolutely a mess.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
So we have actors like Viola Davis, Amandla Stenberg, Cynthia Erivo, Idris Elba, Regina King, Bucky Buckere, Lashana Lynch, Tosin Cole. Yeah. We've got Black actors. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. The issue with this is, one, the book is discussing teenagers and their life struggles during the Civil War. So when I'm looking at the casting, off rip, I'm already looking like everybody on here is like 25 plus. As a teenager, I used to hate when I would turn on high school movies and they would expect me to look at these grown ass people, because that's who they were. They were like 28, 30 years old. When we would watch High School Musical, all them actors were like 35. And they would really expect me to get into it. And I'm sitting here like, I'm not even watching people my age. I'm watching people who are my mother's age, pretending to be my age. So off rip, that was already like, and this just contributes to the adultification of Black children. Because in my opinion, a lot of our movies, when they show teenagers, they be adults. So off rip, a lot of people have unconscious biases about Black children, and they see us as more mature than what we actually are. So they have all these high expectations for a little child because they look at movies, and oftentimes when they watch teenagers, they're watching adults play teenagers. So the adultification in this movie is already like, come on. And at the same time, it's like, we could have found teenage actors. Do you know how many actors are in theater camps and in theater schools waiting for a big break? They're out there. So I don't know why we have all these older actors in this movie about teenagers. But neither here nor there. That wasn't the only issue. Another issue I had with the casting was only like 2% of this casting is Nigerian actors. Everybody else is Black American. And listen, I'm not a diaspora head. I really don't give a shit, honestly. We're all Black at the end of the day, and y'all are just contributing to the issue even more, trying to separate us and make an issue out of it. However, I do have to point out the fact that at the end of the day, yes, we all are Black at the end of the day. We all face the same issues when we're in America, but our cultures are different. Black culture and African culture is just different. It just is. How we grow up, how we're raised, there are differences. We're not going to walk away from that, okay? Yes, there are, the struggles is the same. We shouldn't be fighting against each other at all, but we shouldn't also live in this fake reality that we are raised the same and we have the same life, because we don't. So when I see a bunch of Black Americans in this movie, off rip, I'm taken back, because I'm just like, why couldn't y'all hire actual Nigerian actors? Especially because these people are going to have Nigerian accents. So you're going to have a bunch of Black Americans try to mimic a Nigerian accent. And let me tell you, I've already seen Viola Davis try to do it. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work over here. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I can't do a Nigerian accent. So I wouldn't want to be in a Nigerian movie, because if I try to do the accent and it's not realistic, you could tell. So I feel like we're going to be watching the movie, and it's going to be a lot of cringing, because a lot of these people are going to try to impersonate a Nigerian accent, and it's not going to come off the way they think it's coming off, because it's not really Nigerian people at the end of the day. It's Black Americans. It's like when I do a British accent. Yeah, my British accent is pretty good, if I do say so myself, but you can tell that I'm from America. Like, it's not, I mean, maybe you can't, but British and Nigerian accents are two different things anyways. So point is, the fact that we have a bunch of Black Americans in this movie and it's only 2% Nigerians, it's kind of just like, where's the diversity? Because this is supposed to be a Nigerian movie. And like when we see Black American movies, we see Black Americans playing Black Americans. We rarely ever see an African or an immigrant playing a Black American. Rarely. Like, yes, it happens, but not in predominantly Black movies. Rarely. I rarely ever see that, honestly. So I just thought, the whole us having not that many Nigerians in a Nigerian-based movie is kind of just like, okay. And that's just also taking away the opportunity from a lot of Nigerians as well, who could have entered the Hollywood industry and had a big break. So I wasn't fucking with that at all. It was given I'm not really with the people for real, because how you gonna tell a story about Nigeria, but then you only have like 2 Nigerian actors and everybody else is Black American? Like, I get it, you're trying to appease to the American audience, but we need to stop living in this world where we have to adjust to white people and we have to adjust to American customs. No, sometimes we have to teach white people and we have to teach Americans to adjust to different cultures. Because once they leave America, they be acting stupid as shit when they start seeing different things, and it's because we don't educate enough here. So a lot of people come to our country and they already know what's up with a lot of our culture and a lot of things that we do. But then when we go out to other countries, we're so confused, and we're so confused of how they do things because we're so ignorant, because we don't educate here about other cultures, and we need to start doing that. And we need to stop acting like we always got to be babies and have people adjust to us. No, we need to start adjusting to other cultures, learning about other cultures. So that way we don't have to live in a situation where Hollywood is casting a bunch of Americans for a Nigerian movie because we need to adjust to the white American audience. No, the white American audience needs to adjust to us. If you want to come see a movie about Nigerians, then bitch, you be prepared to see Nigerian actors. Point blank period. But the next issue that I had with this movie, and this was the biggest issue of them all. This was the issue I really wanted to make this video about, for real. Was this one right here. Yeah. So for those of you who are unaware, this beautiful face, her name is Amandla Stenberg. Okay. I'm disappointed, but I can't say I'm surprised. Because the thing is, Amandla, let me touch my hand, honey. Touch my hand. Woo, you got one more time. You got one more time to piss me off before I'm running up to Hollywood headquarters myself with a damn bat, literally blocking the audition doors. Because, girl, what the fuck? Listen. I'm all for people going after opportunities. I'm all for people going and getting to the bag. But there are certain bags that are just not meant for you. Amandla, this is not the first time. What the hell are you doing auditioning for Children of Blood and the Bone? You are not Nigerian, and you're not even fully black. Okay? And not only that, the character that you're playing, her story literally talks about the colorism that she faces. She plays a character who actually goes and lightens their skin so that they can look more fair-skinned like their mother. So in the story, colorism plays a huge role in her life and the issues that she faces. Yet they casted a light-skinned biracial girl to play her. Let me ask my dark-skinned people, would you want somebody to play you in a movie? If you had a biopic, for example, and a big part of your life was the colorism that you faced, how would you feel if they casted Amandla Stenberg or Zendaya to play you while they're showing examples of the colorism that you faced? Would you feel like that's a good person to exemplify the colorism that you face in your life? Is that a good person to represent that? No, it's not. It's not. It never will be. So I don't know why Hollywood took it upon themselves to cast her. And this is not the first time. Like, she is their token black girl. Remember when Zendaya said that Hollywood normally picks a few light-skinned girls to be their token black girl to represent the black community? She was right. That's true. So when we talk about colorism, we're not just talking about dating. I know you guys are so tired of us talking about preferences and dating. And yes, that is a huge part of colorism, but that's not the only thing. Okay? Colorism also has to do with the system in general, but it also has to do with entertainment and not just female rap. Even representation in movies, how dark-skinned women are represented, and just the amount of times we get casted, you would be surprised the amount of times that a role is meant for a dark-skinned girl and it gets handed to a light skin. You would be surprised. And I promise you, it has never went the other way around. There has never been a time there was a role meant for a light-skinned girl and they gave it to a dark skin. That has never happened. So Hollywood has been colorist for years. Okay? And when it comes to Amandla, like Zendaya said, she is one of their token black girls. But unlike Zendaya, Amandla takes it upon herself to use that to her advantage. So she don't mind going and taking those roles, knowing that it's meant for a dark-skinned person to play it. Because one thing about Amandla, not only did she go and audition for this movie when she had no business doing it, but in Hunger Games, I know she was a little kid at the time, but this is a pattern at this point, so I'm bringing it up. But in Hunger Games, when she played Rue was supposed to be a dark-skinned girl. Rue was not supposed to be a light-skinned mixed girl. But here she go, taking on the role. But when she did it at first, we was all like, you know what? She's a kid. We're not going to really come for her like that. It's cool. All right, cool. Fast forward. Now we have the Hate U Give. She goes. She plays the main character. The main character in the book, she's literally dark-skinned on the cover. Her skin is as dark as mine on the cover. Darker, actually. So she's dark-skinned in the book. But then when they cast for the movie, they cast a light-skinned mixed girl. And not only do they cast a light-skinned mixed girl, but in the movie, she had braids, which in my opinion, I think is the more acceptable hairstyle when it comes to being in white spaces in comparison to wearing your afro. And in the book, she had an afro. So they made a lot of changes to appeal to a white audience so that white people could actually watch a movie about racism. But in the midst of them trying to tell a story about racism, they were being colorist by casting a light-skinned person to play a role that was meant for a dark-skinned person. So this is a pattern of hers, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, Amandla, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. First of all, no shade, she's not that good of an actor. She's not that good of an actor. Like, she's not Zendaya. Okay? Let's start there. So, this whole, like, picking her to play these movie roles, like there's not other dark-skinned actresses out there who are capable and qualified, is insane to me. She's not that great of an actor. But even if she was great of an actor, there's still so many dark-skinned actresses you could have chose. And yes, outside of Ryan Destiny, because I know that popped up in some people's heads, but she's not the only person. And we don't always need a dark-skinned person who looks like a black Barbie to represent all dark-skinned girls. So yes, even though I love Ryan Destiny, I would like to see a different face, a different dark-skinned face. A different dark-skinned face that doesn't necessarily go with the beauty standard. Because they're out there, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and they're out there, and they're talented, and they're ready to work. But here is Hollywood being colorist, casting a light-skinned person for a role that's meant for a dark-skinned person. But like I said, I'm disappointed, but I can't say I'm surprised because they've done this many, many times. I told you with the movies with Amandla. I mean, they did it with Zoe Stenberg as well in that one movie where they did a biopic about Nina Simone. Nina Simone was a dark-skinned girl with 4C hair. And she faced a lot of colorism and a lot of texturism in her career. But they chose a light-skinned girl to play her. And they literally had her put on a fake nose. They had her put on makeup that was 4 shades darker than her and had her put on a 4C wig afro. So it's clear Hollywood will go out of their way. Like, they will go out of their way to make sure that they don't cast a dark-skinned person. So when we talk about colorism, stop gaslighting us, because the truth is in the pudding and the truth is in front of a lot of y'all's faces. And it's not just about dating and preferences and, oh, he prefers this, but he treats them like, it's not just about that. Because there's so many opportunities and so many closed doors for a lot of talented dark-skinned people just because we live in a world that is so colorist, and unfortunately the entertainment industry follows that colorism to the T. So it was very disappointing to look at this casting, and now a lot of people have already decided they don't even want to go see the movie. And this is an important story to tell. This is a story that I think a lot of Americans should watch. And a lot of Americans should get educated about. This is about the Nigerian Civil War. This is very important. And Black history is now being removed from schools anyways. So, I mean, I think this is an amazing story that should be told. But now people are already canceling the movie out simply because they decided to cast it and make it the most whitewashed cast that they can do. And a lot of people don't respect that. And it really, really sucks because now the attention is more so on the fact that they whitewashed this casting than the actual movie. More people are talking about how they're mad about the casting than how they're excited about going seeing the movie. So they definitely didn't make the right decision for this, because people are talking about the movie and all press is good press, but at the end of the day, they're not really talking about going to see it. They're just talking about how you guys fucked up with the casting. Now, if you guys just stuck to what you should have stuck to and just had more Nigerian actors, maybe at least half, and you didn't do that shit with Amanla, I think y'all would have had a better chance of having people accept it. But this is really sad, honestly. And I just pray and I hope that this movie at least represents the Nigerian Civil War in a good way, even though they're already messing up with the casting. I hope they don't mess up with anything else. Okay? I hope this don't become a thing where we see African stereotypes all over the movie screen that are not true, and it's just painting Africa in a negative light. I hope I don't see that either. So, but that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this casting for this movie. If you guys are here for Amandla Stenberg being on the casting, do you think that she was wrong for auditioning for the movie? Let me know what y'all think. But other than that, I love you guys so much. I will see you guys very soon, and stay safe out here. Besos.